All right, good morning. We are back. We are back. Welcome back. How we doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday, man. Happy Friday. Hold on, I'm checking something real quick. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Qualifying, sprint qualifying. Oh, that just made today so much better. I've been missing some Formula One, man. Oh, that's exciting. Tomorrow, sprint, 5 a.m. Holy shit. I didn't realize it's at 5 a.m. 6 a.m., 5:55. All right, I'll be golfing. I'll be golfing when that sprint's going on. I'll be watching. It's Friday. I'm showered. Wintergreen upper deck. Oh, yeah, Howard. What a day. What a morning. Wintergreen, though. I don't know about that. Morning, everyone. Welcome back. Gaurav, appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the coffee fund. Thank you for funding the caffeine addiction. I appreciate that. Welcome back, guys. Happy Friday. All right. Hope you watched my video yesterday. If you did, I appreciate it. We're doing a giveaway today for the top comment, or not top comment. We're just picking two random comments on that video from yesterday and today's live stream. We'll get that done at the end of the live stream, so you got to stick around if you want to see if you won. And you do have to be on the live stream. You will have to respond to win. So we'll see. We'll do that at the end. Yesterday, what a day. Felt awesome to see just the trade just play out to perfection. OKLO, awesome. Break and retest, the major 70 level. We talked about this in the live stream. This was spot on. Major watch straight from this free, and let me say that again, free morning live stream. So congrats on that. If you caught a piece, some nice setups across the board. Nvidia pullback long worked, AMD pullback long worked, the SMH daily 20 pullback long worked, the NASDAQ ES key level belows worked. Everything worked. So what a day. Hopefully you guys caught some stuff out there. Saw a lot of success from some of you guys messaging me. So really just felt like an awesome day, man. Just really felt good yesterday. So hope you enjoyed it. And let's see if we can end the week on a similar note. Let's see if we can end the week on the vibe. We want to close the week on a strong vibe. So let's do it. What's the model? It's a Venom, foolish. Venom. It's just a Venom golf cart. I think it's just Venom. I don't know the next name, but Venom, and just look up Venom golf carts. 6-seater. Could have bought a Honda Civic with that thing. But if it's ever a tax write-off, right? If there was ever a tax write-off, that would be one. So, worth it. Worth it. All right. Let's start the day by pressing the like button. And let's get going. So, here we go. Look at this fancy new banner I've created. Very nice. Look at that banner down there. Not bad. Me in the circle. That was done within 30 seconds this morning when the live stream was loading. So that was good work by me. Now, what I need to figure out before we start, hold on, bear with me here, is my top monitor just keeps failing me. Okay, it's working now. Great. All right, we're good to go. We are good to go. Let's do it. I'm going to put a little giveaway winner announced at end of live stream. Is that how you spell announced? I believe so. Announced. A-N-N, announced. Looks that way. Should be good enough. All right. Let's do it. Let's start with the... What do we have on earnings? What do we have on earnings? What do we have on earnings? Let's see real quick. Ian. Clear, you are on top of your charting. How does your trade start for you? An alert is triggered. Ian, so, we go through this live stream, right? We got a pretty decent list of names, but then, after this live stream, I basically try to focus down onto, let's say, 5 to 7 names. Just names that I think have clear opportunity above or below the key level, right? The importance of the key level, how major of a previous rejection or a previous hold it was, right? And just sort of get down into a short term, maybe 5 to 7 names. Try to focus in on those more than anything. And, Ian, it's not always going to be perfect, right? There's plenty of days where I miss out on the best mover of the day where, I sort of didn't focus in on it as much as I should have. So it's never going to be perfect, but I think you just use your experience as you go on and try to, bring your watch down to 5 names, 5 to 7 names. I think that's a realistic amount to watch, maybe 3 to 5. And just those are the ones you're watching that day with intent. And if it doesn't play out that day, it doesn't play out. But yeah, you can't really be, looking at 15 different stocks all day. It's just going to really, I think it's probably a diminishing returns, to be honest. So hopefully that answered your question, Ian. Thank you for joining the Coffee Fund. I appreciate that. Yesterday, earnings, Intel. Yeah, how did Intel do? Bad? You guys said, oh shit. Yeah, Intel went bye-bye here. Back down to these lows. Intel's just been so stuck in this range, man. You'd love to see Intel make a comeback. U.S. name, Semiconductor. It's crazy that they haven't. Need to do something. New CEO or something. I don't know. But yeah, nothing there for Intel. Stuck in this range, so we'll move on. Earnings today, nothing really important. Nothing I'm interested in. Do we have the next week earnings calendar yet? We do not. I'm sure it's out there, but we'll just wait for next week. Economic calendar. Let me see if there's anything. Was there anything today on the economic? Today, durable goods. Okay, so 8:30 durable goods. We'll see what happens at 8:30. That's really it. Let's just get into the technicals. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Here we go. NASDAQ futures. So yesterday we had a few levels. Freeway, appreciate that, Freeway. Yesterday we had a few levels on the NASDAQ futures. We had this 23,350 zone, and then we had the 23,280. And I've moved that a little bit into the 23,300. So let's go ahead and take a look at the levels today. You guys can see we had these major previous highs here at 23,340 to 350, right? Very clear previous highs here. And look at this. Look at this. The most powerful formation on the stock market right now, the inverse head and shoulder, right? We had our 23,340 to 350 level. You have a morning low. You have a midday drop. And then you have a late day reclaim. This, my friends, is an inverse head and shoulder formation. All right, look at how powerful the reclaim back above that morning low was after trapping shorts down into the next demand. All right, here's your trap, here's your left shoulder, here's your right shoulder. The inverse head and shoulder has been so powerful on the reversals of this market. And yesterday, it does the exact same thing. Paul, appreciate that, Paul. 5 gifted. Nice. You got 5 people that can now converse in the chat. Appreciate that, Paul. And GG's, Paul. So, 23,340. Rejection, right? Hold. Little fail lower and reclaim yesterday. And then this morning, you guys can see we're trying to hold above it. So, pretty clear today, right? That's probably the level you want to see hold. You probably want to see this 340 to 350 level hold today. If not, you might get a little bit more downside. If you do fail that today, where do you think you're going? You're going right here. 23,300 to 23,270. That's your next demand zone. So maybe we get a little gift again. Little pullback long today. Could be an interesting trade to look for. Little drop down into 23.3, 23.3 area. This could be another nice opportunity to pay attention to. Let's see if 23,300 gives us a nice little long today. Anywhere between 300 and 270 is where I would watch. All right. And the 270, why 270? You would say right here, right? Why 270, Desi? Right here. Look, 270, 270, 270. That's your zone. Anywhere between the 300 and the 270 would be the demand zone that I'd be watching, right? Here's your low from yesterday. And if you come back down to that, I'd be paying attention to see if there's another inverse head and shoulder long, right? Remember this. Let's just, I don't think you're going to get exactly this, but let's just take a screenshot of that. And then let's come back Monday and see if it's an exact inverse head and shoulder off this zone. That would be something, huh? If that happens, I mean, I don't know. We got to do something. You got to do something. But anyways, 23.3, 23.270. Watch that zone there. 23.340 to 350. Watch that area there. Teresa, thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that. So big watch, right? Keep an eye there. Keep an eye here. Under 23.270, you'd probably start to lose some momentum on the week, guys, to be honest, right? That's probably where things get a little bit slippery. You probably have a little bit of a down day. That would be, if you fail under this low here, fail back below the highs from Tuesday and Wednesday, fail back below that Wednesday end of day pump. If you fail back below 270, then I think you're going to get a little slippery here, back down to these lows from Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, so that would be like if you really are dying to look for a short, right, it would be under 270. If you're really dying, you're like, man, I really want a short. Well, if that's really your motto right now, well, under 270, I'd say you probably can get something. That would be a fail back below that Wednesday squeeze, back below these Wednesday highs, back below that Tuesday high, back below this Tuesday pre-market low, right? Under that, you probably see some weakness. So keep an eye on that. You're going to want to see holds at 350, 340 or 300, 270 to feel like this market still has the momentum and demand moving higher. Could we still need another little pullback to the daily 20 to get the next big opportunity? Sure, right? Daily 20 is now at 23,070. You can see it continues to sort of push higher, and now we're trading at 23,070 as our daily 20. So we still, whenever we're floating above a daily 20 like this, guys, there's always the opportunity that we need to come back down to it, right? So just be aware of that. Watch out where that daily 20 is, 23,070. Okay? S&P 500. So another really clean hold on the S&P. If we zoom out, right, we can see we didn't get our full pullback. And if you guys remember, what was our thought yesterday? What was our thesis? Our thesis was we'd like a pullback to the ES 6374, right? This is the pullback we really wanted for that long. But, right, what did we say could happen? We might not get that pullback, and why is that? We might not get that pullback because the NASDAQ may just hold this demand area, right? And that's what happened, right? The NASDAQ did not, the NASDAQ held up these levels, pushed higher, which just didn't allow the ES to, move lower. It just, that's not going to happen. You're not going to get that downside if the NASDAQ's holding those levels. So, same thing today, right? We're not going to get this ES pullback here that we probably need if we continue to hold these levels here, right? This is the lows from yesterday around 63.90 to around 6,400. This would be the level that could hold on today. I would watch that zone on the ES, right? If we continue to bounce out of this zone, then you're probably holding up into end of week. Now, if you break below this 63.91 today, 63.90, then I'd say there's a pretty decent chance that you fill this upside move right here and come back down to this high right here. And to be quite honest, probably the most bullish thing that could happen today to close the week would be a pullback to 63.70, right? This is likely the most bullish thing that could happen to end the week. Desi, why is downside bullish? Well, it's because it's good for market structure, right? Retesting these highs, right? Coming back down here, filling in some of this straight up move here and sort of closing the week maybe floating above this high would probably be the most bullish thing for this market. Oh, that's a flashbang. Sorry about that. Maybe, you know, I mean, the uptrend is sort of sharp here, and a break of this uptrend could give us that. So I think it's possible. All right, I would keep your mind open to the potential of downside towards 70 today. Definitely. Which would be bullish in the grand scheme of things. It wouldn't be so bullish for, you know, the nanosecond traders today, but it would be bullish for the large term time frame. So just, you know, understand the difference there. Jason, appreciate that, Jason. Thank you very much, man. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Okta. I'll have to check out Okta. I don't really watch Okta. We'll take a look at it. Fidel. Appreciate that. Thank you for joining the Coffee Fund. So, ES, keep your mind open to the fail of 90s lows. Keep your eye open to the drop into the 74.70. I think it would be a quality pullback. There's still plenty of downside demands to not, you know, for the ES to come back down to 70.74, back down to 50.57 zone, right? Daily 20s now sitting at our major 63.10 spot. Now that's a big spot. All right, now that is a big spot. If you can get this market down to this 63.10 in the daily 20, that's like an automatic long for me, right? If we can get something like this, that is definitely a big watch there. All right, let's go to the SPY. So SPY ETF, right? The pullback that I think you want to see is back to 631.50. I think that's the right move. That's the mature move, right? Not the we're going straight up every day move. It's the, okay, let's pull back. Let's come back to reality for a day and create new long opportunities. That would be back here at these highs here, at this Wednesday hold here, and that's right here at 631.50. Would love to see that, right? Give us a little bit of that, and then give us that second move, right? Little retest of these highs, come back down, fill this straight up move, you know, cool off a little bit, find new buyers, and then rip this thing back higher. That's what I would want to see. Now, you're not going to get that if the ES holds the previous day lows, right? You're not. You're not going to get that. You're not going into the market, said, oh, Desi said we got to go to 631, so I'm short with my entire account today. Yeah, that's not trading. You know, I remind you that every single day. The only way we're getting down to that 631.50 is if we fail under the 633.50. If we fail under this yesterday low right here. That's the only way. So if you do pull back today and you start holding here again, yeah, I would not be short. This could be just another demand hold at these lows from the day prior. So don't do that, right? Now, if you do break below 633.50, then maybe you can get that creep back down to 31.50, right? Maybe you can get that. That's only if you see failures below 633.50. Right now, you're not doing that. You're just trading in yesterday's range, which, by the way, is a terrible range, NTZ, right? 633.50, 634, up to the 636 area, right? You're basically just trading within yesterday's range here, my friends. So please be aware of that before you go start trading the SPY today. Understand that you're going to be trading the SPY within yesterday's range. So know that. 636 highs, right? 634 lows. If we can clear out 636 and maybe hold above that today, that could be an interesting long opportunity. Let's see if that can set up. I would definitely be watching this pullback long and this pullback long here. Okay. All right. Let's go to the QQQ. And you guys can see we're actually starting to bounce out of this zone already. But right here, you can see. Here's your highs, here's your highs, here's your lows from yesterday, here's your lows trying to set up today. 564, 564.35, little inverse head and shoulder yesterday right off this demand zone. Look at this. Beautiful trade. I saw some of you guys out there trade this yesterday. Seth, shout out Seth. Lows, little alfalfa, little reclaim, little inverse head and shoulder opportunity on the QQQ. Bottoming formation with, you know, a trap. And sometimes the trap is what you need, right? Here's your trap. Here's your drop below 564 and just an instant bid back higher, right? This is where you have to wait for breaks and retests, right? This is why the break and retest can save you from getting trapped, right? Because sure, this is a break, Where's the retest? It's not there. All right, there's no retest rejection here. This is just a break. If you chase breakdowns, you're going to get slammed. All right, so here's your break. Where's your retest? There is none. No retest, no trade. All right, so really nice. Pay attention to that. Under 634, I'm sorry, 564. My bad. I don't even know if I might have been saying the wrong number there, but 564, under 564. If you get a rejection and you get a move lower, 562.50 is your target. Right here. These highs, that low, 562.50. Below that, 560. Upside rejections, 566s, 567 area. Might get a little bit heavy here. I have it at 566.26 to 566.84, which is the high from the overnight session. Right up there. Okay. All right. Let's go to Bitcoin real quick because I would be watching this Bitcoin pullback today. This is sort of interesting, and Bitcoin is definitely a very interesting long here as it approaches this gap fill level and these previous highs. Really, oh shit, I have a gap fill level long. What is this high? 115.280. It's literally right at the 20 SMA. That is insane. Yeah, look at that. Holy hell. Okay. So anywhere between that and these highs at, yeah, I mean this is an interesting spot for the butt coin here, my friends. I would be watching this pullback today on Bitcoin very closely. Look at what Bitcoin just did. It once again rejected 120,000, which we know is very tough. But I like this little drop. It's back into these highs. It's back into the gap fill. And it's, guess what else it's back at? It's right back at the daily 20. So that could get really interesting. All right. Bitcoin coming back down to this 115,000. Back to the daily 20. Back to the gap fill. If this can sort of heat back up here, I would be watching the pullback long on some crypto names here if we can find some nice juice off the daily 20. So definitely something to watch today, right? We'll go over stocks like Coin, which have given great pullbacks. Look at Hood coming back down to that daily 20. There is some very interesting pullback opportunities on some of these crypto names. I would be watching those today. Now, here's my concern for you. Okay, I'm gonna wave like I don't want to wave the red flag, but I'm gonna wave like I don't know, let's do like a full course caution, right? We're gonna, maybe it's not a full course. Maybe this is like the virtual safety car here. We're gonna call a virtual safety car on the SMH, and here's why. I am concerned that you're starting to see a little bit of a top out here on the SMH. Now, I can't say that with confidence yet. That's why it's a virtual safety car. It's not a full safety car, and that's why we're not red flagging the session yet. But there is some little bit of a, something I don't really like here going on, and it could be an inverse head and shoulder, right? Look at this. I'm sorry, not an inverse, an actual head and shoulder, right? An actual potential lower high, an actual potential topping formation. And it's not so much topping as in like, oh, this thing's cooked. It's topping as in like, okay, maybe the semis need to cool off more. And if the semis have to cool off more, the whole market's going to cool off, right? That's just simply what's going to happen. So, a little bit of something to watch here today, guys, is to really pay attention to how the semis close the week, right? You don't have to have a position. You just need to be paying attention to what the semis do to close the week, right? Because what you can see here is that this 290 spot is turning back into a rejection, right? This 290 area is sort of failing, right here. This 293 high was very heavy, and you are potentially making a lower high here, right? If that is the case, then there is some concern, right, that this causes failure. So, once again, virtual safety car, not a full course caution, not a red flag, but caution here. 293 highs, 290 highs, potential lower high here. This is a potential head and shoulder, all right? if we do see the daily 20 fail under the 20S, or we see the SMH fail under the daily 20 again, back under this 285 level, you might see this fall over, right? Back down to like 275. And maybe that's what you need to sort of curl this thing back higher. But in the short term, that would definitely cause downside on the market. So please pay attention to this. Now, here's what saves this, right? Here's what saves the SMH from that happening. It's just a monster hold again off the daily 20 and in this demand zone right here, right? You can see big demand here, wicking demand here, big hold here both Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Back above the daily 20 yesterday. If we can hold on there today and this can create a higher low, right? Like this, low, low. If we can do that, then I would say that saves this and continues higher. So really, the line in the sand for me is 285, maybe 281, right, at these lows. But this 285, I think you really want to see hold on today. If it does not, you could start to see that weakness step in, which would affect the whole market. So pay attention to that, please. Definitely important for your trading. Definitely important for your trading. Okay, that's that. IWM 296 or 226, sorry. 226. Excuse me. IWM 226, still rejecting, not interested. It's got to get above that. Can't trade this thing into 226. This thing's too heavy here. Got to get above 226. 2,600 people, 900 likes. Press the like button. Press it. Sasha, thank you. I mean, I have been just swarmed with these Apex 90% discounts over the last two. I mean, everywhere I look on Instagram and on Twitter, it's just a bunch of people just vomiting coupon codes for their commissions. Complete vomit of 90% Apex codes. It's ridiculous. Vomit. All right. Let's continue. I guess let's wait for data. 1 minute before data. Where's my water? How you doing? $40 seconds. Data. Waiting for it. And then we'll get into some stocks. Chef, appreciate that, Chef. Chef Homie. We got another chef here. Chef Homie. Thanks, brother. $10 seconds. Hamish. And nothing. As expected, really. All right. That is a non-event for now. Durable goods down 9.3 versus down. Okay, so durable goods better than expected. Excuse me. All right, I mean, yeah, non-event. Thank you, Hamish. Appreciate that, Hamish. Hamish. Oh, man. Love it. All right. Tesla. Shit show. Yeah, not interested. It's got to reclaim 308 today. That's the level I think it's got to break back above. 308. You guys can see right here. That looks to be the reject. I mean, it's really anywhere between 308 and probably 310 is the zone I'd be watching right in here. It looks like it's finding some strength for the moment. But 310, 308, I think you need to get a reclaim back above this level. If you can get back above this, I'm still not interested, to be honest. I mean, it's still shit. You're still under the daily 20. You're still under the daily 200. You're under the daily 50. I mean, I don't think you really want to try to play against the grain here, my friends, to be honest. Could there be a gap fill trade? Yes, there definitely could be. I think that is, I'm sure some of you probably are very interested in that, and I don't think that's a terrible thing to be interested in. I would just say it's going to put you through the ringer, I would say, to get back into there. You're going to have to trade through these daily moving averages, which can be very tricky. You're going to be trading through this really just sort of sideways channeling area. I just don't know if there's a way to expect what's going to happen in here, to be honest. So, if I can't really expect what to see, I would never long into the daily 200. Maybe it goes right through it, I have no idea. I'm not interested in this zone. Tesla, we talked about this yesterday. You got to trade Tesla when it's in those Tesla moves. Right? When it's in those Tesla moves or it's just frothy and going straight up or straight down, I think those are the times to strike. When it's not in that mode, I would be very careful. Over 310, you probably get something today, right? Over 310, you could probably look for a little bit of something into 318, right? Maybe back up into that daily 20, daily 200 area. Maybe back up into these highs right here. See these highs? 318, 318, 318, 318. You probably get a move into 318 at some point, right? On a little hold back above 310, something like this. Right? That's probably something you could look for. That would be the cleanest thing to look for. If you want to look for Tesla, I would look for us to reclaim the 308, 310 zone. I'd look for us to start to hold above it, and I would try to trade that to 318. And then that would be just about it. Over 318, maybe you start looking for that. Yeah, I mean, you just start trying to grind that thing back higher. Back up into the 325 area, which is where we saw those previous holds, right here. Back up into this 325, 325, 325, right? That would be the daily 50. And you're just going to try to take it from level to level at that point. So let's see. See what happens. See if it can get over that 308, 310 today. All right. Nvidia, much more interesting. So, what was our game plan on Nvidia yesterday? Our game plan on Nvidia yesterday was a pullback long at 171. And, I mean, that could not have been any cleaner. My God. I mean, this was exactly, if you went to our live stream yesterday, I made this exact formation with my cursor. We went like this. All right? That was the exact formation we made. Look at what Nvidia did. Incredible. So, key levels, just showing you how important knowing your levels are, trusting your levels. I mean, it's just perfection on Nvidia yesterday, right off the 171, right at the pullback. You go up, you pull back, you hold, you long, all right? Exact same thing again. So today, what are you looking for? Same exact thing at 173. You go up, you pull back, you hold, you long, all right? It's the same exact thing. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Does 173 create a nice long opportunity today? Maybe on this little downtrend break up into the highs, into the all-time highs, right? Or do we fail under 173, move back to 171, and then create another opportunity, all right? So that's my watch, all right? 173, 171, that's it. Got to see if those hold. If they do, interested in that long up into 174. That's also going to depend on what the SMH does at the daily 20 SMA. AMD, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Previous high a day, pull back long. Exact thing we talked about. Previous high a day, pullback long. That's the exact low of day for an AMD. It even pulled back for you later day after the straight up move, right? You move straight up into supply, you rejected right back down to it, and that created the opportunity. Incredible hold there at that previous high day. What else did it hold above? 162. 162, which was our exact level. This high, 162. Look at that hold, 162, later in the day. Break, retest, long off 162 later in the day is unbelievable. That's obviously in the after hours, which sucks, but there was a long intraday off that level as well. Now, today, here's what I'd say, okay? I would say AMD is on a gap up, right? And I would want it back to 162, right? This is a gap up here, right here. This is all gap. There's nothing there, technically. We're trading here. The last printed candle was down here. So this is all a gap right here on AMD, right? I would want us to pull back to 162 personally. If you can get this and then this, that would be the long. Watch 162 today, AMD. You might just hold 164. If AMD is just really strong, you're going to hold 164. So it's either 164 or 162 for me. That's what I'd be looking for. Very interested in Broadcom today. Broadcom, I love what it did yesterday. I think it's setting something up here. You guys can see right here, looking at this pullback, right? You got this straight up move from Wednesday. You got this these frothy sort of straight up, straight down moves in the zone. Look what it did yesterday. It filled it in, right? You basically filled this area in with volume yesterday. You pulled back, you found buyers, you filled this area in with volume, which is great. So now, what I'd like to see is I'd like to see a hold over 288. If you hold over 288, then I like the long off that level. 288, watching that today on Broadcom. ARM 160, sort of interesting. MU got to get over 114. TSM failed the 242.50, so not that interesting. Nvidia, AMD, Broadcom, again, most interesting semiconductors to watch for me. Let's go to the crypto names. Coinbase, we've been talking about that dream pullback on Coinbase back to 380. You're getting close. You're not there yet, but you're getting close. 380, 377 has been the pullback we've been looking for. The only concern I have now is you're back under that all-time high 400, 406 area. So if you can long it back into that level, great, but just be careful into that rejection point. Hood, also very interesting as it slowly pulls back to the daily 20. You can see here on the 4-hour chart. We're pulling back into this big demand zone between 98 and 101. You have the daily 20 SMA catching up. This could get interesting soon. I would be watching Hood as it pulls back into this demand. Let's go to Apple. Apple, matter of time, I think. It still looks great. It's consolidating above that 212 high. You need to get over 216. You can see my alert is still sitting here. It has not been hit. I have not traded it. Waiting for that alert to hit. Meta. Man, Meta's a really nice looking setup. Appreciate that, Ori. We'll go to Palantir. Yes, sir. Meta's a really interesting setup. It's a really nice 4-hour hold, right? You got this beautiful 4-hour high here. You got this beautiful consolidation low here. You have a really nice move, a really nice idea on that upside move. You want to see the volume? Yeah, I can adjust it to where you can see the volume next time. I mean, just really clean, right? And I like how this is holding back above 710, 713. This daily 20 SMA is keeping it really stuck, right? You can see even yesterday, you just totally failed the upside move. So I just am a little bit cautious on Meta because of stuff like this. But, let's see. If this holds 710, 713, this is still a really nice looking hold that I think eventually can go to that 728. The only downside is you do have earnings next week, so just be aware of that. Earnings next week, next Wednesday, so just be caution on that. Let's go to Palantir for Ori. Palantir. This is interesting, huh? This is this is exactly what Aklo did. Right? Look at OKLO. See this? See this low, 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 inverse head and shoulder on the 4-hour chart? See that? On OKLO? Take a look at Palantir, my friends. That looks interesting, doesn't it? That looks pretty damn similar. Could you believe it? Look at these two charts next to each other. I mean, look at that. Tell me that's not the same chart. You know how you... So here's how you know if you know your charts, right? And whether you're at the level... And I don't want to be egotistical, but whether you're at the level that I'm at. The second I saw Palantir this morning, I instantly thought of Aklo. Like, it wasn't... There was no gap between, like, the thought. Like, in my mind, it was like, holy shit, that's the same as Aklo. Right? So what does that tell me? And what does that tell you? That means that my mind just knows what charts look like on every stock I watch. I mean, I can visually know exactly what every chart... You can give me a chart, and I will know what it looks like in my mind. I could draw it out, right? I could draw it out. And so this is when you're like, okay, you're in flow state, right? That's when you're in flow state. When you can remember, like, charts just off the top of your head, because you've been watching them every day and you remember what's going on that chart, and you can refer back to it and know exactly and feel in tune with where those opportunities are, right? And so this is very similar to OKLO today. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to look for the same exact thing, right? I'm going to look for the same exact thing. I'm going to look for Palantir to break and hold above these highs. If we get a break and hold above these Palantir highs, this could be the exact inverse head and shoulder neckline breakout that could keep this stock going higher. So I would be watching 155.68 very closely today. If you can get over that, right? If you can get over that and you see this little hold above it, I would absolutely be long here. Let's see. Let's see. It's definitely the same chart, I'll tell you that. And it's absolutely a gorgeous, hold back over 152 after some of these downside moves. It's gorgeous. I love how it's reclaimed back in this channel. So hopefully that helps, Ori. Appreciate the donation. I love Palantir. It's actually my top watch today. All right. Let's go to Amazon, Google. Amazon, big breakout. 234 is tough. I would really want to get a pullback to 230 here. I don't think I really would take a trade here unless we get a pullback to 230. So 230 for me on Amazon. I'm going to go ahead and put a little alert here to see if it starts to pull back today. Google, reclaim of 195 would be a money watch today. Look for this to get back over 195. If it does, I think you go straight back up to 200. I would be watching 195 very closely there. OKLO, let's see if this sets up a next week opportunity. This would be a great pullback to 70 today. If we could get a little break and retest on the 4-hour chart, that would be something, right? Look at this high. Look at these highs. See if this can hold above 70 on a break and retest long, right? Here's your breakout yesterday on the larger term time frames. Now you want to see a larger term time frame retest, right? There is, the break and retest can be done in two different time frames, right? You have it on the short term intraday on like the 2-minute, and then it's also done on like the 4-hour chart, right? So there's opportunities on both. There's opportunity to scalp it, then there's opportunity to look for it on the long term. And so, for example, yesterday, there was opportunity to scalp it, right, on the break and retest of the 70. But now, there's opportunity on the 4-hour, right, to look for a larger term retest hold, right? Now, this is interesting to see if you can hold above this into the end of week, right, and create a break and retest on the 4-hour. Now, that would be even more interesting, right? So, something to watch there. Hims, Netflix, and Datadog, and we're done. And then we got the giveaway. Okay, Hims over 58 right here. Got to get over 58. Watch Hims over 58. Datadog. Oh, please, for the love of God, get over 147 today. I have loved every single second of this trade. And God, I hope that this gives me a payoff today, man. I have loved every second of this trade. I have basically gone over this trade from start to finish. I mean, this thing I hope pays us today. Look at this. Look at this. Give me that next one. Up to 152 targets. Daily 20 holding. Right? Pullback, retest. Right? Previous highs, break, retest, hold. I mean, this. Go, man. Go. Come on. Be a dog for us today. Data dog. Love it. Last one is, what was the last one? Oh, the opportunity of the next few months, possibly. Netflix. Netflix daily chart. Previous major highs, previous major lows. Look where Netflix just wicked out of yesterday. Look at that daily candle. Look at this. See this? Look at this. This is interesting. I would be watching Netflix over the next coming days. If Netflix can, excuse me, if Netflix can clear out 1200, I'm watching this thing. Keep an eye on Netflix. Our next big watch. Kevin, appreciate that. Amy, appreciate that. SMCI. Take a quick peek, but then we got to get to the giveaway. Oh, nice little chart formation here on SMCI. You got a little break and retest off that 20. Yeah, off this 50 level. Not bad, actually. Nice there. Nice there. Yeah, I mean, you're just grinding this thing on the stair step right now on SMCI, man. Next level 54, right? So here's your structure points, right? You have 46, 47. You got 50. You got 54, right? So now pullback longs 50 or break and retest 54, right? Those are your trades. Pullback longs 50, break and retest 54. Right? That's where you set up your trades. Nice structure. All right, guys, let's do the giveaway. Let's do the giveaway. Oh, whoops. Let me just get this pulled up. It's going to be $100 to 2 people. And we're going to go to the video and just close our eyes and... Oh. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. So here's the video. Here's your ad for the day. There's me. All right. Let's go to sort by just top comments. Unfortunate for people at the top. I really don't know if I could, that's unfortunate. Maybe we'll have to find a different way to do this in the future, but, I'm just going to close my eyes. Here we go. My eyes are closed. We're going all the way down. We're going all the way up. We're going back down, back up, back down, and right there. Gameland. Gameland 473. Oh, I got to change the, hold on. I got to change the stream so that people can talk on it. Bear with me here. Gameland 473. Are you here, Gameland? Let's see. Is Gameland 473 present? Oh, there he is. Gameland's here. All right, Gameland. Shoot me an email. My first name, Vincent, at options-insider.com. That's going to be in the description as well. Shoot me an email, screenshot your username, screenshot your YouTube account, and provide me a Zelle, PayPal, or Venmo. All right. There's one. Next. Closing the eyes. Let's start at the top. There we go. Start at the top. Going down. Going up. Going back down. Going back up a little bit and then back down. Right there. Clyde Smith. Clyde Smith. Where's Clyde? I don't see him yet. Clyde Smith. One-minute timer, Clyde. Not here, huh? He's sleeping. He's going to come back and watch this. He's going to be upset. Why Clyde and not me? Hennessy, take it easy over there, huh? Next. This is exactly why we have this chat at members only. Look at these messages. I have brain tumor. I mean, what are we doing here? All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Clyde. Snooze you lose. Next. Down. Up. Down. Up a little bit. Up a little bit more. Down a little. Right there. Oh, we're closer here. Jay Secco. We might be here all day. Jay Secco. Please be here, Jay, so I don't have to do this again. Jay Seccos. We should have did a 30-second timer. Jay's gone too. All right, I don't think Jay's here because I think he'd be answering by now. My name is Jay. My name's Jay. My name's Jeff. How do I? Someone's gonna change their username. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's it for Jay. Next, going all the way down, closing the eyes, back up, and right there. Oh my God. Ty Gatz. I know Ty. I don't even got to worry about you guys. Ty Gatz. There we go. All right. That's it. Ty Gatz got it. $100 to Ty Gatz. $100 to, what was our first one? What did I forget the name? Game something? Game Boy? GameStop. All right, guys. That's it. Ty, send me an email. Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, something. Cash App. Western Union. You probably won't get the money if it's Western Union, but. All right. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Love you all. Press the like button. Subscribe. We'll do more fun stuff like this in the future. Jesus, Chef. Peace.